Hi, welcome to another edition of Seven's Pinballorama. It's hot outside. When it gets hot outside, my workshop gets to be even hotter in there. It's like a little oven. So I haven't been out there for the last couple of weeks just because I don't want to die in a puddle of my own sweat. So today I'm hiding in my basement. I thought I would make a video on this old 1964 Gottlieb Ship-Mates. It's kind of an unusual machine. There's some interesting things going on with it. So for fun, I thought I would just kind of show those interesting things. Then I've got two other things that I want to do with it. The playfield on this, I haven't cleaned this up since I bought it. I salvaged it from a garage a handful of months back. I just haven't done anything with it. I haven't had time or space. So it's just been sitting. And so it needs to be all cleaned up. It needs to kind of be tweaked here and there. The lights in the back box aren't working. I need to fix that. A couple other little things here and there, but mostly it's in okay shape. It's missing some paint, but mechanically it seems to be working. Just needs a little love. Playfield's filthy. I don't think it's been cleaned or waxed for 20 or more years. So my go-to thing to clean this up would be CP100. I've had really good luck with this stuff on old EM machines. It cleans, but it doesn't seem to be aggressive to any paints. So I feel safe in using this. But I think this is just Naptha. I think it's Naptha with a little bit of blue dye in it. So thought, well, let's make a video and we'll try them side by side. So Naptha is sold as a camping fuel. You use it in lanterns and stoves and things like that. It's a clear liquid. You put it in your gizmo, right, and you pump it up and build some pressure, and then you light that on fire, and it seems to work. These two smell exactly the same. Even though this is blue, you would expect it to smell like blueberries, but it does not. It smells like naphtha. So I'm going to try them side by side, and we'll see if there's a big difference between the two. And if there isn't, why pay more for a little bottle of this when you can pay less for a big bottle of this? So we'll try that. The other thing going on with this machine that I'm going to film is there's a crack on the backglass, and it's a nice clean break. It doesn't appear to have taken any paint with it when it broke, and I think that once glued together it will be perfectly fine. So someone had recommended that I use super glue gel, and I don't like super glue products. I really don't. I'm never happy with the bond that you get out of them, and it always seems to fail. Like, you glue something, it works fine for a couple days, and then it just breaks again. So, and then it gets kind of that white crusty crap on it, you know, super glue. I get it all over my hands. I glue my eyelids together. So I was not really interested in. That's Volcano. It's interrupting. I wasn't really interested in using super glue. So someone else recommended E6000, which is just an adhesive. It's a general purpose adhesive. It's pretty sticky and gooey, and it takes a while to dry, so you have a little bit of wiggle room on what kind of a mess you're going to make. Someone else recommended that I use one of those products where it's a glue that does not cure until you shine UV light on it. And I've been wanting to try this stuff for a while. So I found this stuff. It's called 5-Second Fix. It says it's as seen on TV, which kind of makes me nervous that it's gonna kind of suck. But we'll try it and see. Kind of the nice thing about this, I like the idea of it, is that you can tack a little section of it down, get it exactly where you want to, hold it in place, and then instantly cure it with the UV light. So I thought we'll try this on this. Before I go and try it on this backglass, which I don't even know if I could replace, I have a piece of glass that I use for my testing Mylar on backglasses. Or not Mylar, I'm sorry, testing Krylon to hold the ink down on backglasses. I have some glass tests that I did, so I'm going to break that glass, and then we'll glue it back together again and see how well this stuff works. And if I'm not impressed, then we'll use something else. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do on this video. So why don't we show off kind of the weird things that this machine has, because there's some kind of unique things going on with it, and they're kind of quirky and weird. So let's look at those. One of the weird things about this machine is the cabinet. It's got this funky lower front section, and it has two different size legs. So the back legs are just regular, like 28.5 type legs that you'd see on Stearns and a lot of Williams and things like that. The front legs, I think, are 25 inches. So if you get one of these, don't lose the front legs, because I don't know if you can get them. When I get machines, I usually take, you know, the legs come off when I move them, and then I have a pile of legs in the workshop, like just a huge stack of legs. And when I decided to set this one up, I'm digging through there going, where the hell are my 25-inch legs? I found them. The other weird thing about this machine is the lockdown bar, and it's got the plunger attached to it. So this is all one section, and it's really not the best design, and I'm really glad that they stopped doing it. It's kind of awkward to take off and to put back on. It has the regular little lever that you have to pull off, and then you kind of have to yank the whole thing out. It's heavy. It's a handful of pounds for sure. Apparently you can adjust where the clips attach the lockdown bar, and it's really hard to get back in place and get the lever just right and get it to clip in. I'm not a fan, but it's, you know, it's fun. I got this machine because I'm trying to collect machines with unique gimmicks, right? So this one has a roto target, and if you don't know what a roto target is, it's basically a bunch of targets on a wheel. You trigger something that spins, and then it'll stop and just reveal like 1 or 2 targets, and then you have to hit those, and you trigger the wheel again and it spins. So in this machine, there's a little scoop here. You land in the scoop and it spins the roto target. And this one has targets labeled 1, 2, and 3. I think there's maybe, I don't know, 9 on the wheel or something. I'm not really sure. So then you hit the target and it lights it up here and it does something. I don't know what it does yet. Yeah, so that's really the reason I got this machine. I think there's a roll under here that will also spin it, and something else does, I think. The 2 scoops, that thing, and I don't know. Anyway, that's really why I bought it, is for the roto target, because I don't have a roto target yet. And it's kind of a cool theme, I think. So the other weird thing about this is the playfield. It's locked in place. Now, some of the old EMs, like the old Gottliebs, they have little clips on the side. You have to kind of pull those out. I think Gottlieb or William does that. I don't know. Palooka has that, where it's these 2 little things that kind of latch the playfield in place. This is something different. This actually has there's this big bar that you have to pull forward underneath the playfield. So let's put a camera in there and I'll show you. This is inside the machine here, and you can see this is this big bar right here. You have to pull this forward, and it's spring loaded. Like it's kind of an awkward deal. Pull it. There you go. And then you can lift the playfield up. And it clamps onto these guys right here. And these springs are, yeah, it takes a little bit of to get it going. There's the roto target that I was talking about, and this actually looks like it has 12 targets in all. So when it spins, that whole assembly moves. So I'll have to figure out what makes it lock into the right place. So I have the playfield all the way up, so we can kind of dig around and take a closer look. So the first thing that you might notice here is just a dangly coil. These are the pop bumpers. These are the brackets for the pop bumpers. This one's broken, so it's really the only thing that I need to find to get this thing going, but you know, whatever. Up here, this is kind of an interesting thing. Coil right here, these are our scoops for the roto target, and it launches them both at the same time, which is kind of fun. The flipper buttons are fun too. So there's this wire right here, and you push the button and it just moves that wire. Up here on the playfield, there's just switches there on both sides. So that's how the flippers used to work. I guess with a big lockdown bar, you can't really put a switch there or something. I don't know. Seems kind of strange, but that's how they did it. But for the most part, this machine, it's filthy, but everything seems to be working. All the coils except for the dangly coil. Everything seems okay. So over here, tilt bob, doop, handful of fuses. There's a hey, there's a light box fuse. Let's check it out. I'll bet you this is why my back box is not lighted. Well, that one fuse comes apart in two parts. One part of the fuse, the other part of the fuse. What do you think? Think that's the problem? Okay, let's put this all back down and let's put this all back down and play with the playfield. Okay, I want to compare CP100 versus just plain Naptha. This is probably the good a place as any to give it a shot. So right here I'll do CP100, and then right under here we'll do Naptha, and we'll see if we can tell the difference between the two. We'll see if it even lifts the dirt out that we need it to lift out. Same thing, you know, put it on a rag and then just kind of carefully kind of go, you don't have to push real hard. It looks like we're pulling some stuff up. I think there's a lot of dirt that is just really ground in. I don't know how well this will work. Although it seems to be doing okay. Getting some dirt. It did bring some of that blue up a little bit more. All right, so let's try that next to Naptha. Dirt. So, you know, side by side, I think they're the same. Smells the same, cleans the same. I think I'm just gonna use, well, I'm gonna use my free stuff. But yeah, once I use up all my free bottles of CP100, I'm just gonna stick with Naptha. I think they seem to be about the same. I'm not seeing any big difference between the two. So you learn something new every day. Okay, so let's play with the glass now and see if we can fix that without destroying it. Okay, before I use my my 5-second weldy stuff with my little UV light, I want to test it on something first. So I have this old piece of glass. First thing we need to do is break the glass so we can try and fix it. So hopefully I won't shatter it into a million pieces. Break, damn you! Holy crap! Ah, perfect. I broke it into a million pieces. I think these 2 pieces will be good. Good enough. Okay, so let's see if we can join these 2 back together using our 5-second fix. I'll probably glue it to the paper towel. Alright, so there's actually silver paint on this side. I think maybe the first thing I'll do is I'll see if it reacts to the paint. Doesn't appear to be. Cure. 5-second fix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't appear to have cured. This stuff doesn't appear to be working. It's getting a little thicker. It's not like as seen on TV at all. Yeah, it's kind of dried into a blob. Doesn't look like it's affected the paint, so let's give this a shot. Put a little dab here. And maybe a little on the other side. And one right in the middle. Hey, it works. What do you know? So that actually worked rather well, and where I put it, it's leaked between the, it's moved between the little crack. I don't know if you can see this. It actually hides that crack rather well. And there's a little bit on the outside, but I think I can just probably just wipe that up. All right, glass is out. Off camera, I actually played around with this a little bit more. I have a brighter UV light. I actually use this to shine it on playfields to see, when I'm buying the machine, to see if it's been touched up, because your paint, touch-up paint will react differently than the original paint. So these are pretty handy. Anyway, I played around with this a little bit more. It seems to be working okay. Worst case, if it doesn't, you can, it appears like you can kind of scrape it off the glass. So I don't think I'm going to ruin this by using this stuff. Worst case, it just all comes off and I use something else. So, but I think it'll be fine. So let's try it and see. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bead down the length of it. And then put it in place, and then I think that I'll kind of UV it on one corner and then the other corner, and then I'll just do the whole, go down the length of it and try to get it to cure up. And hopefully, I think if I have enough in here, we won't see the crack when I'm done. Seems like it's holding. Guess we'll just cure the rest of it. And there's a little bead of it along the outside, along the top up here, which I think I could probably just razor off. Yeah, this stronger light, this little dinky thing that they give you, I don't think it's bright enough to actually cure this. But this seems to be working. All right, so I think I'll pass over this a few more times just to make sure, and then let's put a couple of little strips in here, and little strips of Mylar just to be safe. I want to put it along the edge here. It looks like this is where it broke. It is missing a little chunk there, but you can't see it behind the frame. But so I want to, yeah, I'll put a little Mylar on there just for the sake of doing it, and then we'll clean it up. We'll throw it back in. Then I think we're done with the video. Ship-Mates. Look, glass. Overall, I'm pretty happy. You can see the crack. It wasn't as hidden as I had kind of hoped for, but you know, it's a 1964 machine. It's bound to have some problems. And I would rather have a little visible crack on the glass than all of the paint falling off of it. So, you know, you take what you get, and it's fine. Overall, the rest of the glass is in okay shape. There was a little bit of flaking down in here, so I took it out and I hit it with some Krylon. And kind of this area here where the lights stay on all the time, I figured I would protect that. Looks like someone did a little touch up here. Unless you were probably looking for it, you wouldn't notice it because it's sort of this bluish color. Looks kind of like wrinkles on his shirt or something, but I don't think I'm going to bother removing it because I had this thing about, you know, some of the history of the machine, and on something like this, someone badly slopping a bunch of paint on the back of the glass is part of the history. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the playfield yet. It's missing paint. Here and here and here is the major parts, a little bit around the pops, but I haven't decided if I'm going to touch this up or if I'm just going to leave it. For now, I'm going to leave it. I'm hesitant to do it, but at the same time, it would be nice if it looked nice, but I'll figure that one out later. So overall, I think this is a fun game. It's kind of cute and it's sort of basic, and it's kind of got that, you know, in the Navy theme, and not a lot of them like this. And the giant guy with the two girls on him, like, what's that all about? Okay, so I think it's not leveled, so I'm gonna end this with a badly leveled game. And if you like the video, subscribe. If you don't like the video, subscribe. And hopefully next time I see you, I will be back out in the workshop. It will have cooled down, and I'll be back out there working on Black Knight. Hopefully. Oh, if that were level, I would have been able to hit it. This is not an episode of I Suck at Pinball. This is an episode of Pinballorama. Get up there. .204 points. I suck at pinball. Thanks for watching.